Howdy, Simmers. The Sims recently released a new roadmap for what's coming to The Sims 4 in the next few months, and one of the things on there was an expansion pack that had something to do with romance. And I've been trying to think of what this pack could possibly include because The Sims 4 has been out for almost 10 years, and in that time we have gotten a lot of new content. A lot of it actually has to do with something involving romance, so it's really a matter of what's left. So I pulled a little Simsy and I have put together a presentation of everything that I could come up with that I would like to see in a romance pack for The Sims 4. When I put this things together, I did not take into account where my camera would be, so just bear with me on that. But let's start off with what we already have in the game. Over the last 10 years, we've had a number of packs and updates that have added something that contributed to the romance aspect of the game. And the most recent thing were the romance and woohoo interests, where you could select your Sim's orientation, decide if they were romantically or sexually attracted to male or female Sims, or if they weren't attracted to either or both. And along with that, we also got the ability for our Sims to ask another Sim about their woohoo interests and their romantic interests. We also have a number of romantic interactions that our Sims can perform, and some of the most notable to me are the ability to ask a Sim on a date and also give them a romantic gift. And I don't know if these interactions have existed since the game came out, but we do have them in the game already. So now it's a matter of what kind of interactions could be added in a romance pack, because we already have two of probably the bigger things. The calendar system from The Sims 4 Seasons was moved to base game a while ago, but the holiday aspect of it is still, I believe, restricted to seasons. And one of the holidays that came with that pack was Love Day, which is literally a holiday dedicated to love and all sorts of romantic interactions, from going on a date to giving your Sim's partner flowers and having this like romantic spirit, but you could always edit it to add some more risque interactions, I guess. And with City Living, we got a bunch of different types of festivals, and one of these festivals was the Romance Festival. And the Romance Festival had a number of things that your Sims could do there. They could get proposed there, they could get into like some kind of flirty mood by drinking some Sakura tea, but the biggest thing I think was the Romance Guru, where your Sim could ask about their future relationship, find out if things were going to go smoothly or if it was going to be not great. I don't know how accurate it is, but it was a fun feature, and it's something we already have in the game. Now, this is not a complete list of every romantic thing that we have in the game. I'm sure there's something I missed, and no, I did not forget about the wedding pack. We just haven't gotten to that slide yet. So let's move on to what I actually want to see in the romance pack. I think the number one thing when it comes to a romance pack that people actually want is online dating. Little Miss Sam made the perfect online dating mod for The Sims 4 called the Simda Dating App mod. And it has everything from being able to set up blind dates. You can even choose if you want it to be with a female or male Sim. You can do one-night stands. Like, it is such a good mod, and I would love to see something basically exactly like this come to the actual Sims 4 game. But Ken, if people want this feature so badly, why don't they just download the mod? Because not everyone can use mods. Console players exist, and unfortunately, mods are not accessible to console players. But also, some people just don't want to use mods. There are PC players who play The Sims 4 who maybe just want to play the game as is without cluttering their game with a bunch of custom content and mods, and that's perfectly fine. The fact of the matter is we shouldn't have to rely on mods to get these kind of features in the games, and something like this should definitely be included in a pack that is all about romance. Along with online dating, I would also like there to be some sort of like speed dating event where your Sim can go to like a random location in the game and just kind of sit through like short intervals of, dates. I feel like we haven't gotten a proper event in a long time, and I'd love to see just like a random speed dating thing pop up, and it's like, oh, your Sim is single? Great, come to this thing, and they may find the one in the matter of like 5 in-game minutes. I think a lot of other people would also really like to see polyamory come to The Sims 4, because right now the only way to achieve a relationship like that is by using MC Command Center. And as I've said before, not everyone can or chooses to use mods, so it's not something that is accessible to everyone. And in 2024, I think a lot more people are kind of accepting of the whole polyamory thing, and also open relationships, which are different from polyamory. If you want to know the exact difference between them, I recommend Googling, because I'm not going to go into that in this video. But I'd like to see and I guess have the ability to have relationships that aren't just limited to, two people being together. And what kind of romance pack doesn't come with new woohoo spots? I feel like that is one of the most important things that this pack should have. And I was thinking about like what woohoo spots we already have in the game, what we could possibly have added still. And it occurred to me, we have a lot of like water-based woohoos. Our Sims can woohoo in the showers, thanks to Discover University. They can woohoo in the saunas from Spa Day and the hot springs from Snowy Escape. But our Sims can't woohoo in the pool, which is really strange because we can woohoo in the hot tubs too. But for some reason, the pool is not an option. And I tried this out with like an actual romantic couple just on their own. And yeah, we can skinny dip with them, but they can't actually woohoo in the pool. So I think I'd love to see that get updated somehow, because how is that not a thing? But every other water-based thing is. And guess what? There is a second slide for what I want to see in this pack. And one of the bigger things that I think we can all agree on is that we need the heart bed and the heart hot tub to make a return. The Sims team did us so dirty when they gave us the heart bed back in the Sims 4 Basemental Treasures kit, and it was deconstructed. Like, that is just not sitting well with us. We need the real thing. We need it put together. We need it to vibrate. It needs to do its thing. These two things are probably some of the most iconic pieces in the history of The Sims, and if they do not make a return in this romance pack, I think the entire Sims community is going to riot. And I think the same can be said for these interactions from The Sims 2, like the ability for your Sims to cuddle on the couch or in bed, and some other like more risque animations that I may or may not have witnessed in my Sims 2 series, but we really need a lot more of these types of animations because The Sims 2 had some really good animations back then. And for a romance pack, I feel like we really need some of these more risque kind of things. So they really need to channel their inner Sims 2 and maybe The Sims 1 for this pack. You know what I don't want to see in this romance pack though? My Wedding Stories 2.0. I'm sure most of you can understand why I don't want to see this happen with this romance pack, but if you're not familiar with it, basically, My Wedding Stories is the buggiest game pack that we have ever had, and after multiple bug fix patches, it is still extremely broken. Along with how buggy this pack is, it is also a lot of micromanagement, because when you actually get to the wedding day, like, obviously you have to do a lot to actually plan out the wedding, but when you get to the actual wedding, you should just be kind of enjoying your Sims getting married. But no, this pack is basically queuing up everything from having them walk down the aisle to reading their vows to, getting their rings and kissing, walking back down the aisle, getting everyone to stay seated during it, which never works. It is just insane. And there's too much that you have to do for an event that you're supposed to enjoy. And the last part of this pack, which I talked about actually in the video where I went over the roadmap, but the world that came with this pack is gorgeous, but it is so empty. And I'm a little bit worried that the romance pack is going to come with a world that is exactly the same, because this and this are basically identical, from the buildings to the fountain in the middle to the little cart here. I also learned from one of my friends in the Sims community that the people who made My Wedding Stories also made High School Years, and apparently this romance pack is also with their team. So now I am horrified that this is going to end up being such a flop like these other two packs that this team has worked on. And I'm sure that the team that worked on these packs worked really hard, but I'm so sorry. These packs just were not it. They were executed so poorly, and they are just some of the worst packs we probably have in The Sims 4, honestly. But let's wrap this presentation up with what I don't think will be in the pack. When you're on Twitter as much as I am, you see a lot of requests from the Sims community for what they are hopeful will be in the upcoming pack. And what I have seen a lot of recently for the romance pack is people wanting hotels. And unfortunately, I really don't think that hotels will be coming with this pack. I've always believed that hotels would be their own thing. And that's not me saying that it's impossible for hotels to be in this pack, because I'm still trying to figure out what all could possibly be included in a pack like this, because it's such a niche concept for an expansion. It's like, what else could they include? Is it really just going to be like online dating and what is it going to consist of? But hotels, to me, I definitely feel would be their own expansion, or at least a game pack, because I really don't feel like running a hotel fits into the same kind of criteria as whatever romance thing they're going for. We also have a potential hotel system kind of already implemented into the game with For Rent, because you could have it so that way your sim sets the lease for their renters to be like 1 day and just literally keep doing that. And that's kind of like a hotel system, but not like super exact. So there's that, but I still don't really count it as a hotel system. And lastly, as perfect as it would be, I don't think that we're gonna get a Parisian slash like France inspired world, because there are other places in the world that kind of could be seen as like a romantic thing. But also we have a kit coming that I feel might fit some kind of like French bistro theme. So we already kind of have something in that area coming, which to you may be like, oh yeah, they're going to implement this stuff together. It's going to work really well. And I can see that. But I also don't know that they would have two kind of similar themes and, one roadmap. So I don't know. It's kind of a long shot there, but I think this world just isn't giving France to me is the main thing. And I kind of came up with like another reason for why it probably wouldn't be inspired by France. But I don't know. I feel like this world is going to be something different. But also, again, I feel like it's going to be similar to Tartosa, and I'm terrified for that. But that is the end of my presentation. The presentation probably was overkill for, discussing what could possibly be coming to this romance pack, but I feel like it was necessary to kind of get out all of my ideas for what I'd like to see and what I would not like to see, and just, it helped, kind of organize my thoughts and get everything straight. But let me know if you guys have any other ideas for what could possibly be coming in this pack and anything that you would like to see. Obviously, I'm sure hotels is one of them, but like I said, I don't feel like this is the right pack for it. I really think that hotels would be on their own, but let me know what ideas you guys have, and with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials, links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.